everybody. So I was thinking about the things I have been researching today, and I was doing some research on NATO and the United Nations Security Council, and how it was the League of Nations first after World War I, and how they changed to the United Nations after Security Council after World War II. That was established by President Truman, who wanted to prevent another world war. Uh, he got with he wanted to form an alliance with some of the countries that were affected horrendously by World War II, with the infrastructure rebuilding, with the food and the actual land and the homes and things like that. So the allies like France, United Kingdom, or Great Britain at the time, I think it was called. Who else was attacked? It doesn't say much about Poland, does it? I'm not sure. I think that's West. I'm not sure. United Kingdom, France, United States. I think it was Canada and Mexico. I think it was North America, and it was some other countries too that was involved in the uh, United Nations. NATO. Sorry, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. That was NATO for the Allies, and that's still in effect. And NATO was is there to, I didn't read much about it, but it is a treaty organization that is to jump into effect when one of the countries are attacked by outside forces. I think that's what NATO was more about. The United Nations Security Council was more about for civil war upheaval and when to act to keep world peace. And it's supposed to be like I guess bipartisan, a multi, or how can I say a, 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 a how can I say? Because it's different type of government systems all trying to work together to keep world peace, and it's not really working well right now, especially with Russia and China. And they have it's called P5, which are it's called the United Nations Security Council, and the P5 are the permanent members who have the ability to veto uh, a treaty or a agreement they may want to come in agreement with to deploy soldiers or sanction countries, as far as like smart sanctions and sanctions to stop the flow of weapons or food or goods and services. And they sanctioned this year. They were sanctioning Russia already. I remember seeing that the government, United States government, has started to sanction Russia, but the United Nations Security Council has 5 permanent members and 10 how can I say it, transitioning members. They have 2-year terms, and they vote for, I guess, other countries to be a part of the Security Council. So, and the United Nations is for internal, I believe it's for internal and external forces to keep world peace and to come in agreement with with the governing body over this mind's eye war, basically. So it's a way that, I mean, this thing that I'm in, that's considered a not just the part, that I was in the beginning, that it is a way to negotiate for power, trying to save my life. They are negotiating for different things, for power and the things they want in the world. So one negotiation was over the name of Jesus. They wanted me to say Jesus instead of saying Awu or Awe. At the time, it was Awu. I mean, it was Awe. but it's no vowel in between the W and H, so it's Awu. And Yahshua. And another negotiation, I believe, was I think that was one of the main ones. They still haven't stopped these things from raping me. Put me in a mental health hospital was another thing too. They wanted me on medicine. They wanted me on medicine, and I'm not mentally ill. And plus, the medicine is no longer viable. It's not working. It doesn't work because they put blood and semen in the actual pills. So there's no reason to take medicine at all. That was another negotiation. So the people who were supposedly running the negotiation process, it's like a form of how can I say it? Like how Dr. Sebi was trapped in not Guantanamo, but Guatemala prison. For supposedly they revealed to me it was supposedly for 10 years in my mind's eye, and how my president tried to get him out. And supposedly for 10 years. I don't know if it's true or not. I know I think my president did tell me that in my mind's eye. I don't wanna I don't wanna I don't wanna I don't remember quite if it was him or somebody else. 'Cause then they they started to use their clones to manipulate the other team. So it was the good team and the bad team. They were using how can I say, my president's clones to manipulate my honey bear. That was a vision I saw in my mind's eye. And that ship is illegal. And I was finding out certain things according to what the United Nations and the Security Council hold as lawful governing bodies for running this type of negotiation process. How what Bitcoin is, and how it's all starting to make sense. What they were bidding on while I was working at Wells Fargo, and the fact that they uploaded my mind's eye to the whole world for the whole world to see, and then they start lying about different things about me. And because you can't lie in the mind's eye, according to the rules, I guess that were made up in for my actual participation, unlawful participation in the mind's eye. Because I never signed up for this. Not saying I'm not in purpose, not saying God is not using me, but all the stuff about the porn, all the stuff about me and Derek's love was still a distraction. And they're still using these demons, making them think that they know I would never love them or I would want them to live for all the stuff they put me through, but making these demons still rape me or allowing them to. So, in saying that, I did a little research about war and foreign affairs. The United Nations Security Council gets involved when like civil wars happen in certain countries or they're being invaded. I don't know if it's just for civil war or if it's invasions too for the United Nations. I know for NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, is for foreign affairs, not for I think civil territories. So I don't when they say civil territories, I don't think it's for civil wars. Right? And when another country invades, like how Russia invading Ukraine, but only thing that we are allowed to do right now is with NATO to keep from war. We've been supplying the Ukraine with weapons and money for weapons to keep forces back to keep the evil forces not I can't say evil, but the opposing forces back. I mean, I feel like it's evil to want to take over somebody's land and murder their people and start a war for what you would say to finish what you started, I guess, from World War One. So, and saying that the United Nations Security Council, it's Russia, North America, or United States, France, Great Britain, and China, all permanent members of the United Nations Security Council. All five of these permanent members have veto ability for any agreements to be vetoed, which means to be canceled at the sound of the council members' voice. Veto, no fly, not gonna go. Come back with another agreement. Come back with some more terms. This is not what I want. So that's the veto. It's like an executive order that you would have when the president first gets into office. Like my president had 7 executive orders when he first got in office. But Trump, when he got in office, he used 23. I still haven't researched why he got, 22. I don't see why he got 22 executive orders and my president only got 7. That should be unlawful. And how they say in my mind's eye that he elected 3 Supreme Court judges. I didn't even know 3 Supreme Court judges died. I know Ruth Vader Ginsburg died, and that was it. That's the only one I heard of. So unless the other 2 were executive orders, I must have been I think after he became president, I really stopped caring, I guess, because he cheated. I voted for Democrat, never voted Republican. If you can see my voters log, you can see my ticket came back. If you can find it, came back as a Republican vote, 1 vote for Trump in Texas, and I believe it was his first year. It might have been the one against my second president, Biden, but I doubt it. I think it was the one he was going up against. It might have been Biden, but I think it was. I can't really remember the one against Hillary. So I don't know. I can't remember. I can't remember if it was the first time he ran or the second time he ran. But anyways, getting back to the matter at hand, war and how foreign affairs are being ran. Like I said, I did some research. And it's not funny, it's true. And how the thing that is brought to my consciousness is that movie Hotel Rwanda, which is a true story. And in Hotel Rwanda, it was about a Hutu member. He was part of the Hutu tribe, and he was a manager of Hotel Rwanda. And he was married to a Tutsis, which is a different tribe woman. And the Hutu tribe were massacring the Tutsis. And the manager of Hotel Rwanda, played by Don Cheadle, I don't remember the manager's name, but he was trying to keep people alive and hiding them in the hotel. And while real, I don't know if they were in on it or not, but real guests were still staying at the hotel, like real people. They weren't part of the tribe. They were white people or whatever, but they were staying in the hotel. And his wife and his children were there, and the children were considered Tutsis, so he was hiding them too. And how I remember the scene where he went to the general of the Hutu tribe to try to tell him to stop killing the Tutsis because he's going to be brought up on genocide, and how he's going to be brought up on charges of genocide and be murdered. That's treason. I mean, not treason, but genocide. When you commit genocide, you are murdered. You are killed. I don't know the word for it because it has to do with the United Nations and how they deployed soldiers over there to stop him from killing people. But 800,000 of them died within 100 days. And why did it take so long for the United Nations to get there? That's all I was thinking. That was a long time, 100 days. And you know how many people die per day? Maybe 8,000, 800, 8,000. I can't remember. Let's see. I didn't want to do the math because I don't want to make it about numbers. But That's a lot of people to die from just for wanting land to be um, a massacre, to be murdered. And I was reading how United States wants Palestine to be part of I think it was the United Nations too, but it's based on your ability to funds support other nations and how can I say support other nations and supply soldiers, which I think should be unlawful. If you need help, you need help, right? If you're a government system and you want to keep and you come up with an organization to keep peace worldwide, why are there any governing laws that hurts the ability for a country to seek aid when in need? Especially since they've been persecuted so much. They've been persecuted so much as a people. And to negotiate a peace treaty, which they've already had in place. And because of this mind's eye game, it was broken. And it's not even a game, though. They try to make it seem like a game. Like I was saying from the beginning, it was never really about me and Derek's love. It was never just to keep the United States from voting and keep them occupied while they take over the world. And while the Republican Party, who sided with the head of CERN to take over the world. It's right there. It's blatant. It's very blatant. It's true too. That's the sad part about it. They wanted the new world order to be lawful in the United States. The Purge, probably, the Hunger Games, all that. They want to be able to rape women and uh ejaculate on them and drop blood and not just women, kids. And then they corrupted the hearts and minds of men and children, people and children. Children know how to do this stuff. When I go out, children do this stuff to me too. Like I did something to them. Like they know me. They walk around clicking and making noises and and dropping poop. I had when I was in Mississippi, a little boy kicked something off the ground and made me smell like I had chlamydia and herpes mixed together. While I was in Wells Fargo, and whatever's in my stomach, it needs to be removed. I think it's considered a mind's eye, and I think it's Andrea's. I can hear her voice, like when they put my president's mind's eye and my my bro's mind's eye in my stomach too. It sounds like something spiritual, or better yet, not my bro's. What they did, but uh, when they act like my stomach was a monster when I was sleeping on that couch, and they kept putting those torpedoes up my butt. And that demon Mike Carelli kept putting those torpedoes up my butt like it was fake. And they act like it was a monster in my stomach eating the bacteria and disease and parasites out of my stomach. And my honey bear turned it into Andrea. But he didn't know it was real. He didn't know that she would get sick from that. And he wanted to make me laugh, and I did, but it was more like a mama bear. It wasn't more like or a momster. It wasn't more like I hated her or wanted her dead. Even though she had me put in that hospital and I was on medicine and she took my son from me. Our son. and convinced our daughter to move out on her own when she was being raped in that apartment anyway. So, back to the matter at hand, what I was learning about the actual the United Nations and how its governing bodies have been warring. Because, like I was saying about Russia, the only other Vanya I ever heard of in the world was in Russian. It was spelled Vania, I believe. And they showed me in my mind's eye how they had my mind and married me to me and Derek's best friend over there and sacrificed us on the altar together. And that was in Russia. That's before this last time. We never physically made love in my mind's eye, but I fed into him because he was trying to fight for me. He was helping my husband out, trying to watch me at night because we still would fall asleep together, me and Derek, and watch my mind's eye at night. And he was trying to fight for me, and they did to him what they did to me and Derek when I got out of that prison, and I was standing at that Red Roof Inn, and they raped us both on that table after Derek was trying to fight for me then on the altar. But the same demons that are attacking me now, it was a lot more then, but the same one, the one who raped me with the peanut butter, and the one who keeps shooting his I don't see him near. I didn't see him near. He might have been, no, it was some other ones. But I know that one, he's been following me around and, you know, coding my mind and trying to block me from being able to protect myself from these other demons in this world. And this is the world they wanted to bring to the United States. This is the world they wanted to bring to the United States. So this is what's being exposed, the truth. God is revealing truth. So what I found out about the United Nations and the Security Council is that Russia has been vetoing all the agreements, most of the agreements. They have the most vetoes. Let's put it that way. They have the most vetoes for the agreements to help other countries. How can you be on the Security Council when you're invading another country? That sounds like an oxymoron. You invaded another country and have an ongoing war, but you're on the United Nations Security Council vetoing peace agreements and treaties and agreements to get me out of this mess and agreements to, because you already lost, because you lied. You're part of the group that lied. And you're supposed to tell the truth or you're going to die. That was the agreement. China. You're in agreement with and funding this war over spiritual war over here. These people are hurting me for money. They get money to hurt me. They get money to put blood in my head and put poop in my head and in my stomach through this clone, through the computer app of the Mind's Eye that you can access from the phone. From their actual souls that astral project from their bodies and their black souls that leave their body for the agreement to be murderers. I have not lied. There's it's as Article 7 of the United Nations Security Council, where it says I have the right to be treated as a human being. One. So I shouldn't be physically hurt over here. I should probably I would bring it up, but if I pause it, it won't come back to this. So I have the right to be treated as a human being where I should not be hurt in any way, shape, or form. So they should not be hurting my food. They should not be putting blood and bugs in my food. even though the food is already contaminated because they have been using human feces as fertilizer. Plus, they clone meat. Plus, they're making the meat out of recyclable human excrement. The burgers, the fish, they it is. I can see it in there. I can when I was eating that catfish, not the salmon, but the catfish. The salmon I thought was pretty good. I just never had salmon that had fat on it. But the problem with that was there was no bones in it. I've never had a piece of salmon where there wasn't a bone or two in it. So since I'm in this place where they're supposed to be negotiating for power, and they already lost because they cheated and they lied, and they're still continuing on having me raped and filled with disease. That's another thing they're negotiating for the whole world to have AIDS and be mentally ill and allow demons to rape women and children and men. Men were being raped too. My honeybee, other men, my family were being raped. My kids, my son to death. And then they replaced his clone, only to continue to rape him after that. And they follow me around. Article 7 of the United Nations Security Council says that I should not be hurt in any way, shape, or form. Oh, also for the experiment part. What did it say? The experiment. That if I didn't willfully or my own agreement sign up for experiment, I should not be experimented on. And be forced to do anything unwillingly, like take medicine against my will. They gave me shots over here with dirty needles. That's what they told me. The needles were dirty. I didn't see them draw up the shots. And they've been trying to give me AIDS since this started. And they've been having me raped. I was beat up over here. I was physically raped, which I wasn't physically supposed to be hurt. There was not supposed to be any blood. There was not supposed to be any. And the bed wasn't a bed. It was a statement said by my bro. She not gonna leave God. I'm not. And whether that was already agreed upon to allow me to love God how I designed, uh, I don't know. I have been. I'm not gonna stop though. I have been. When I feel the unction to worship and praise the Lord, I do wherever I'm at. Even though they have stolen my voice with this how can I say, scorpion attack to the back of my neck and my body. These things they keep hitting me with, the souls that's living off my actual cloned body that I believe is made with human excrement as well. For it to be able to hold parasites like this and still stay alive. I keep searching on what a clone is made of. Two type of clones: a reproductive clone and a therapeutic clone. The therapeutic clone is not supposed to make it past the embryo stage or the fetus stage. The fetus stage. They're supposed to therapeutic, and it's made the same way as a reproductive clone. With the somatic, what is it? The somatic cell transfer or something like that. They take a egg cell that's been enucleated, meaning they remove its nucleus. Why would they have to do that? I don't know. Because I guess they're not using a sperm cell to fertilize it. So they say this is how they say they make them. They take a enucleated ovum and put a somatic cell, which is an adult cell, not even using stem cells. which doesn't make sense. An adult cell inside the ovum, like from skin or hair, I guess, whatever's in our saliva, which is probably electricity, probably melanin. And then they probably the melanin or interstitial fluid they need. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just guessing at that point because I'm not a geneticist, so I don't know how they do this stuff. But if they take an electricity, and then they say they use electrical currents to stimulate the cell for it to divide and multiply. And then they take the ovum and place it inside a woman's womb. Where are they getting the women to volunteer to have and how do you have a therapeutic cloned baby as a fetus? So you placing the embryo inside a woman's womb and letting it get to what, 2 months, and then aborting it and using the stem cells from the baby and the placenta and to do therapeutic things like grow tissue and organs and do experiments on. That's what they said the therapeutic clones are for. Then they said the reproductive clones are for. They're using trying to stay calm. They're using somatic cells again, supposedly. Putting the ovum, which is enucleated, means they remove its nucleus and place a large cell, an adult cell, inside the ovum. They put the adult cell inside the ovum, stimulate it with electrical current to make it start to divide and grow, and place that ovum inside a woman's room for the reproductive clones to have babies. Then they trying to say clones are illegal when I already read in 1994 a law was set, bars were set for clones already. So I mean, if bars were set, that mean they already had clones anyway. Bars were set, meaning they set statutes and laws to keep clones from being manipulated or used in this manner, where they're physically raping me, spiritually raping me of the life force that God gives me to stay alive. Trying to make me sick by putting blood, semen, poop, and whatever else saliva they can think of in my drinks and on my food, parasites on my food, blood and bugs in my seasonings. They're trying to act like they're jealous of me being able to cook and clean, and they're jealous of me in general as a human being. Okay, so like I said, the United Nations, Chapter 7, Article 7. Article 7. I don't know, of the Security Council. I was reading it last year, and it said it had 3 permanent members, and 13 altogether for the Security Council. And it was according to chapters. It was because I was already asking for help, for me and my honeybee, for help, for the governing bodies to step in and say, look, this is too much. This is way too far. I didn't sign up to be an experiment in prison. See if you can cage train me. To see how long a prisoner of war lasts before they want to die. That's the stupidest thing when you've had prisoners of war before. You know what happens to people who have been in prison. John McCain was in prison for how long? I forgot which armed part was it. War, was it Vietnam? He was a prisoner of war. I know. I didn't remember which war, but he was a prisoner of war. Other people of prisoner of war usually don't live long afterwards. They know what this is. I didn't sign up for this experiment it's supposedly on United States soil. That's the other thing I was wanting to look into too. So when my president wins and the workers of iniquity tried to ensue an insurrection on the United States, how long would a Security Council wait to act to help us? Because their numbers are like the sands of the sea. They have been, and you're they, right? Are you Security Council? And then you have opposing forces who are able to veto action. And then France, well, and the thing is, it's a 3-2, it's 5, so it's 3-2, 3-2. But France has been siding with Russia, according to what the statistics say about the vetoes and the different agreements of deploying forces to protect the people. And then if you're they and you're making not well people stay with people who are children of God, what's gonna happen? What are those people activated to do? What are those people allowed to do? What are those people come in agreement with? Y'all have your own little frequency that you communicate on. For civil war, if it's a civil war or martial law, so when we martial law first, right? And then civil war will be enacted when they start protecting ourselves against the attack of the enemy. Right? Because in my mind's eye, my brother, he started attacking the enemy, and y'all had the police killing him. His it was him though, it wasn't his clone. His mind's eye. So the thing is, the mind's eye inside the clone is actually who you are at the time. He doesn't have multiple souls like these demons do. He don't have them. He don't have a clone sitting in his house in actual wherever he lives, and then a clone over here where I'm at, right? And a clone over here where I'm at, being a bus driver or trying to protect me from a rapist that trying to act like they family. And the rapist has so many souls. He has one. He has they. As soon as I walk away, he's in another one. They jumping on these people. Some of these people, and some of them are his actual doppelgangers. That his souls, multiple souls, like in the Vietnam War and the Korean War, they filled those bodies with multiple souls, and the souls jumped out. Radar 18 1 0 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 1. That's 13-digit binary code, which you're able to do with portals. 13-digit binary code. 6G. They can open up portals anywhere. They don't need that big thing everybody's talking about on TikTok and YouTube. The particle something. And it got negative and positive atoms colliding. I don't understand that. I never took a course on what is it? Physics. My course was basically during chemistry, basic elementary physics that I had to remember for a formula that I had to remember, I believe. That was it. Maybe 1 or 2 classes inside of chemistry. So my brother has one soul. And you were killing him over here. Then you mix his mind's eye with the same demon. Because that demon was killing him inside of his mind's eye. He's beating up his brain. I've experienced that. Through Andrea, who you just who you have in my what is it, my stomach or something? I can hear her voice in my stomach just a minute ago. Like I heard my dad's voice a minute ago. Now, when I was in that hospital, I heard my president's voice and my one of my bros' voice. You've been trying to keep me alive in this thing. You know, all this coincides. If the world stock market If since they told me I was number one on the world stock market, my Bitcoin, right? Highest Bitcoin, number one. And they were putting me in prison and in these hospitals acting like they wanted to get the money out of it. They didn't have to do all that. All you had to do was kill me to get my Bitcoin. You can't do it now because I think it's in a trust for our family. So you decided to try to kill our whole family, but you're using our minds as energy. And it's a form of slavery. I thought the UN was supposed to be investigating the United States for slavery. How you investigate the United States for slavery when you know what this is? You know what this is. You're the governing body, CERN. You're over CERN or you're working for CERN. And if CERN was running the whole world, if CERN, the head of CERN, Bill Gates, the image of the beast, Jesus, as he so called himself, was running the whole world or still trying to, because they're still replacing our clones with the ones with the bugs in our head and trying to make us look bad and feel bad and be sick. They haven't stopped their agenda. They have not stopped their agenda. I didn't lie. I'm not mentally ill. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to convey the fact that we need to repent. Not just me, not just you, but as a nation. We need to stand together and make a decision to end this. And United Nations, I don't know what to tell you. You may need to disband and reorganize with a new group. Because this way of negotiating for power does not work. They have not held to one agreement. No agreements kept, no new agreements made. And if you're the governing body for trying to keep me alive, I thank you. But Russia and China don't want me to live. And France has been siding with Russia, and I believe it's because I'm in agreement with Cameroon kicking France out of their country. I mean, a lot of people were, right? If you can have your own governmental system and you are able to fund your own people in your own country, why would you need to pay taxes to another country? How did the United States get out of paying taxes to Great Britain? And did they ever, or the United Kingdom, and did we ever get out of paying taxes to the United Kingdom? But we're still allies. Why we can't peacefully agree to it's time to move on? When it's time, it's time. When you can have your own people mining for your own goods and products and services that you offer from your country, for your countrymen and to the world. Are we that petty that we're ready to end the world because Cameroon is able to take care of themselves? And you're on a side with a demon who has a war on God's people and killing them in the Ukraine from World War One. I told you this is all spiritual. They don't need that big old thing to open up portals. That's all physical and it's all a distraction from the truth. All a distraction. I am not supposed to be hurting this thing. I am not supposed, according to Article 7, I was not supposed to be raped. I was not supposed to be murdered. I was not supposed to be shot in the head. I was not supposed to be beat up. I was not supposed to be in that hotel for 3 days. When I tried to leave, they kidnapped me. They starved me, didn't give me any food, took my car and my phone and my key with my keys, and left me in that hotel on multiple occasions. And then had me physically raped on multiple occasions. On the first night for sure, and I know for sure on the last night. I'm not sure on that second night if it was one of my clones that you uploaded my mind's eye to, which you did. So I was physically raped again, but I was murdered first because I don't remember what happened that Saturday night. After they came in my room and asked me if I was calling brother Derek, is what Tamika said. Am I calling brother Derek in my mind's eye? And I said, yes, I was thinking about him, but that demon that staying next door was in my mind's eye, and that's what showed up in gray. So I don't know if that was after or before Kiss, because I can't remember what time it was when y'all uh, had Andrea trick my brother and my sister in law, and had my son at a supposedly orgy. And if it wasn't for his dad, he would be well, he still was raped, but he would have been raped in there too. Now I don't know if that's true because Derek had to lie in the mind's eye too. He wasn't, and he was dying from it. I believe he was dying. Because every time I found out he was lying, I think maybe he was even allowed to lie. I don't know. Maybe that was their agreement. But the opposite side is supposed to tell the truth. The evil side is supposed to tell the truth. I think Brother Jim stayed neutral because he said he didn't lie. Brother Jim said he didn't lie, but Derek was lying about a lot of stuff, trying to keep me alive. Plus, trying to hide what he had done because they said they didn't want to talk about certain things. They weren't supposed to tell me that Derek and James were at the hotel. I thought we weren't going to tell her that, right? But he had to tell the truth then, right? And when it came time for them to tell the truth, that demon came and stole my phone and dropped it on the ground. And I couldn't find it. That's the one who was following me around Mississippi. The one who was put spiritual disease in my head and was popping off my head onto my back and going down into my spine and burning. And everywhere where I couldn't really sleep, I had a nice sleeping bag, but they had some type of diadem ejaculate inside my body and give me like a mini orgasm that I wanted to die from. Felt like I had a heart attack because they didn't rape Derek that night, but they raped me. Oh, they might have raped Derek. I'm not sure because it's different when they give you how they do men than they do women, or me anyway. They I don't think they make him remember, so they might give him amnesia, kill his heart, and then or stop his heart, rape him, and then stop it again so he forget and he wake up like ready to make love. Let's put it that way. That's how they do men, especially when they're not supposed to be raping you anyway. I mean, especially when you know what this is, right? I'm not mad about it. I just know when I woke up that day, I didn't see him for a while because I was sick. I felt like dying. Whatever curse they did to my heart, I did not want to live after that. And then when I was outside dushing, the dush I made, that orange stuff was coming out of me, out of my vagina and my butt, in the forest. I'm trying to catch it in the bag so it don't hit the ground because they wouldn't let me use the restrooms. When you talk about inhumane treatments, chapter Article 7 was not even upheld. The experiment part, the medical attention part, uh, the actual hurting of my body, like the rape and how they beat me up and pulled my hair out my head in front of Walmart with the doppelgangers. An angel showed up, and I died after that. And they had to. I don't know if they I don't think they replaced me either. I think God brought me back because my hair was out my head right there. And there was a rain, and they had the rain going real bad, and it was really cold. And I was just trying to keep my sleeping bag from getting too wet. That was in Alabama after I was raped by that demon at the Welcome Center. And the police took me to a Walmart and dropped me off in front of there. And I stayed out there for a while. I was starving because I didn't have any money. People at towards the end of my stay in that area crease, like I said, they started to help me. They would give me money to eat and food to eat. But then them demons got mad and they wanted me to move to a different location, to Mobile. So they had me in prison for 2 months. I tried to go see Chris, but that demon stole my money, stole $300 out my wallet after he raped me and Chris. So in saying all this, I don't know if they're gonna let me post it because last time I went an hour, they didn't let me post it. I'm just gonna watch it and keep watching it, I guess. Um, in saying all this, and the research I found out about the United Nations Security Council, and when we think about bipartisanship and our agreements to, how can I say, our agreements to let people who want us dead to live with us and in our homes and in our minds and off our bodies. I'm not coming in agreement with any of that. First off, I mean, I'm in hell anyway. So, but God's not going to leave me here. So I'm not worried about that much. And the fact that I'm being raped just lets me know that the world will end soon. They didn't stop. I just heard some got dragged away, but it was just raping me. And they have attacked my food in the little refrigerator that I got. They attack the food while they put stuff on, not attack, but they put bugs and blood on it while I'm trying to cook and stuff like that. Can't drink water. Haven't had water in so long unless I get some ice and get it out to shower. And a bottle of water. I can't even get through that without them closing up my throat with this demon that's on my neck, and it's more than one. So I hope y'all didn't see nothing. Trying to keep my shirt down. I'm just telling the truth. So if there is to be a civil war, the United Nations Security Council needs to be hopefully prepared and ready to act without the ability of Russia, France, and China vetoing for deployment of help. And I don't know what type of help we're going to get when it's actual people who have demonic ability to astral project from their body and stealth technology on their mind's eye to manifest physically, their souls physically solid and kill and attack people with my mind. I hope you get a national block, you can use to block them from being able to do that. I guess you would have to cut the Wi-Fi off in the whole world, or just cut my heart and brain off and burn it down. The place I'm in. I mean, if they threaten to kill me, like I said, I'd rather die free mentally than live as a slave physically. I mean, I don't need a mind's eye. I have a bug in my head. If I still have the bug, and I don't need a mind's eye. And the body, supposedly, these new bodies, the reason I believe they weren't considered humans because they're supposed to have necronizing monsters. There's a vancomycin monster on my heart, and necronizing one was same, I guess, living in my brain, living in my body. The one that did you see the altar when they cut Chris's back out and all the bugs fell out of him and the zombie fell out of him, and they were sending those clones as sex dolls all over the world with the demons in them. Or did you see when I was watching my president and they made his ears extra big and made that clone in his forehead and it shaped his head the same as mine. Um, Shaped his head like mine with the demon living inside my brain and his head and in my face like it's supposed to be funny. We get new glorious bodies anyway. And it's not a threat, it's real. We do. I mean, I wanted to live on earth. I just don't want to live with these demons. Whether you're not well or not, I don't want to live with your ability to hurt or attack me. Like I said, the whole world, when the whole world's against you, it feels like, what do you care when even little kids attacking you and your kids and your husband and your rest of your family, and nobody can speak up or say anything without being murdered or attacked or physically raped or made sick. I know, you won't understand because you're not just the deep, but you have darkness. You have what is it? The knowledge of good and evil, but no light, no light to govern your behavior. Not that you don't know right from wrong, you don't care to do it, and you're still trying to get your way as they. So I'm gonna tell the truth. I gotta hold to the truth, but and I gotta stay ready. They're trying to make me think they're gonna have me picked up tomorrow when I leave, or like this morning when that demon had tried to act like a bunch of police officers, soldiers came, were on a balcony and standing outside my door and knocking on my door. There's real people over here. I don't know what this is as far as the location. I've been putting the multiverse and Never Never Land and Oz. Sometimes I might put Michigan. When I voted, I was at the KMAC building. It might be a replica or it might be the real KMAC building because, like I said, I have felt when I've walked through portals into different parts of the world, which is not supposed to be legal, but or uh not you're not supposed to be able to do that without that big particle machine, which is another lie. Like I'm not supposed to be able to put a shield up in heaven to try to block God from seeing what's going on down here. I doubt if it's about other countries. I seen what we can do to Israel's missiles with with the laser that runs our brain, that our brain is running. The same laser that they were using to drill into the Euphrates River. The same type of laser, not the actual same one, but how not one missile hit us. Or I mean, at the time when they're protecting Palestine. For what reason they attacked Palestine, I still don't know. I haven't been watching or been able to keep up with it. But they're always attacking the Gaza Strip. I guess for I don't know if it's for souls or bodies or for the land. I don't. And why Russia is trying to take over Ukraine? Is it for souls, body, or the land? And what's in the land? For energy, crude oil, Texas gold, Nature's powder. And if you're in Afghanistan right now, what about them? What do they call them? Them graves where you put more than one body in one grave, or you put a drum full of dead bodies and you burn it, seal it, then burn the drums. That's your accelerated way of trying to make crude oil. Or when my sis posted the video of the aborted babies, and they had babies at 1 years old in there with scratches, scars on their face. That wasn't an aborted baby. I don't think she could have said it, but I'm gonna say it. It was a sacrifice. Why would baby have cuts on their face? And how are you able to abort a baby? And that lady who was eating a cat in I forgot what city. I think it was Gary, Indiana. I think the one Trump said that the people were eating cats, and I was watching the debate at the Studemeyer building on the east side, and my president laughed. Said, "What does that have to do with anything?" And I told him to show the footage because this thing is not well. Whatever that woman came in agreement with, they made her so sick to think she should be eating cats. Whether it's 1 or 10, he just trying to prove his point that and scare people. They probably made her so mentally ill that she did that. Like the man who was smoking that who supposedly said the artificial weed made him eat his dog. Or the man who was tripping. And then they have the zombies, the actual zombies that they make from the synthetic weed. The man supposedly smoked some synthetic weed, a homeless man, and ate another homeless man's face. They both end up sick with the zombie disease because the saliva has a virus in it that activates the carnivorous part of your brain. So why they need to open up my brain in the first place is another lie. They wanted to use me and my family for energy. It was never about research or that I never signed up for. An experiment that I did sign up for, the nurse only told me it was for monitoring my health to see how HPV developed over the years. I supposedly had it. The doctor put iodine on it that healed whatever cyst that was on my cervix. Iodine. That was the treatment. Because she told me either they're going to give you the treatment or they're not. But if they give you the treatment, they're not going to let you know. Either it's going to be placebo or not. It was monitoring my health for 20 years from the age of 22. So I guess because of that contract and because they were being investigated, CERN, because I had stopped doing experiments after that. I think I did one experiment in Texas for $30. So I was broken. My kids were starving. I think I needed gas to get to work or something. And I did an experiment at Planned Parenthood. I forgot it was a 3-year experiment, I guess, for HPV too. I guess because once they say you have it, you can't get rid of. So I was telling them I had it, but I wasn't testing positive for it. But I guess they continue to say you have it as long as you think you have it in agreement, which I don't, which I didn't. I didn't even have it when I supposedly tested positive for herpes, supposedly, after being raped. After being raped, after being uh, raped, I supposedly tested positive for herpes, but I still never tested. Oh, they didn't do a cervical exam, but you know what? They don't have to. Working as a medical assistant, I found out they have markers to test to see if you have HPV. They blood test markers, cancer, all type of different cancers. not just HPV, cervical cancer, breast cancer, uh, to see if you have an active infection in us, and I guess a certain type of cancers in certain areas of of the body release certain chemicals that they can the markers that'll tell you which where the cancer is located and what type of cancer it is through your blood. And that's I mean it should be possible, but probably more of the mind's eye thing, right? Since we've all been cloned, right? Trying to say clones are not legal, but like I said, I already read in 94, 1994. And we hear the fact that certain statues and barks were set for what makes a clone and what consists of a human being. That's when the new one world order was established. This thing right here. Now they probably were running it illegally before this, but legally, 1994. That's what a lot of people believe, that God stopped interceding for the nations and started praying for his children, his part of his creation, his brothers and sisters in the faith. And the prayers of the saints are supposed to be the ashes and incense that the 24 elders are holding. That's in the CERN building, right? 24 elders, the creature, not the beast, but the creature with the all eyes all around it. The creature, the monitoring spirit, that sees everything. That's some demonic stuff. Eyes all around. That's spiritual though. And then, how do you punish a demon and you know you can kill it by blowing up his soul? But how do you punish a demon that allows to heal off my mind's eye? So you're punishing it. Allow it to drop bugs on me. I just don't understand that. But you want to live, and these things that keep attacking me want to live. They can't. They can't live and do this to people. Not just me. I'm telling you. I believe the world probably can feel this. My being felt it when that one of them things dropped blood in his head. I guess you know. So I'm gonna watch it again, but it's just sad for those who don't want to believe that this is coming to an end. You didn't hold to your agreement. God is not gonna let the world continue. The accuser of the brethren. You didn't hold to your agreement. Not one. No agreements kept, no agreements made. I was supposed to be on the Bill of 520. I love laid it out. The real Bill of 5, not that fake stuff with the semen and blood in it. And I don't even want to be on that at all. No medicine. I don't need medicine. You can stop messing with me. If you can come into agreement to stop messing with me, you can stop messing with me physically. There's no reason for medicine anymore. For me. Because I know what God can do for me. I know what it takes to get healthy again. I don't have blood pressure issues and I don't have diabetes. I keep putting curses on me. Trying to make me sick. I haven't eaten that much food to be sick anyway. Usually my blood sugar is really low. Feel like I'm about to pass out when I don't eat. From all the bugs you put on me. Before I'll be ready to go. But I'm getting sleepy all of a sudden. That means something is trying to put me to sleep. I'm not gonna worry about it. Yeah, my message got a little heavy tonight, but it's the truth. Article 7 has not been kept at all. The agreement to not hurt me as a prisoner of war has not been kept at all. The genocide of a people, of a body of believers, just because you can bring them back, it's not been kept because you didn't bring them back in the bars and statutes that was set in 1994. You didn't. You didn't bring them back with the bars and statutes that was set in 94. We're not supposed to have this big old bug in our head. We're not supposed to have a necronizing and a vancomycin monster living off our heart, mind, body, and soul. We're not supposed to have bugs in our blood and in our body like this. Now, in our intestines, but when you murder somebody and the bars are set, that means, and you didn't bring them back to their correct bodies, that means you murdered them. First of all, no murderer should enter the kingdom of heaven. And second of all, on United States soil, murderers go to jail. Murderers go to jail. They do. They go to jail. If they don't, and they usually die in there because they get life. For a life, for a life. My eyes are not closed, they're just really low. A life for a life. Right? I'm just saying, I just wonder. A life for a life. So, worry about nothing and pray about everything. Don't worry about anything and pray about everything. Everything that's important. Our Father, whose artwork is in heaven, holy is your humble and perfect name. Let your kingdom come. Let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Forget us not and give us our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, and please deliver us from the evil one. For thine is your kingdom, mine, your power, your glory. Now forever I pray. Amen. Sorry, I'm falling asleep. They're putting me to sleep right here. And they just nodded my head, I think. I don't know. But y'all have a blessed one. And I'm gonna watch this again. If you want to sit and watch with me, fine. I'm gonna listen to it and go to sleep. Y'all be blessed.